2, 1, begin.
Hello, my name is Ethan Chamberlain, and today I'm going to be talking about the sport of ultimate. So first off, the term frisbee. It's a weird term. You've probably heard it before. It's probably when you see this object on the screen, you're going to say frisbee. But fun little fact, it's trademarked by the company Wham-O. So the reason why the sport is called ultimate and doesn't actually have the name frisbee in it is because it's trademarked. So we call it ultimate. That's just what the sport is called. And when we refer to this, we call it a disc and not a frisbee in the sport. Just a little something you should know. But to start off, when any person plays ultimate frisbee, they need to start with the basics. They need to know how to throw, because if you can't throw, what are you going to do? So first off, I'm going to talk about the two types of throws. We have the backhand and the forehand. According to UltimateFrisbeeThrows.com, the backhand is probably the easiest and most common throw that everyone uses when they're playing. And I can agree. It's the throw that if someone picks up a frisbee, it's most naturally they're going to pick it up and flick their wrist, and the frisbee's going to go somewhere. Maybe not where they want it to go, but at least it's what they're going to start off doing. Secondly, we have the flick. It's pictured down here, and it's where instead of having your 4 fingers under it, as they do on the top picture, you put like 2 fingers up and you like throw it on the opposite side of your body. Next we're gonna go over the basic movements in ultimate frisbee. So first off, you can't move whenever you're holding the disc. So if you have the disc in your hands and you're in the playing field, you can't move. And basically, there are 2 types of people when it comes to holding the disc. The person who has the disc is pictured in the orange, and the person who has the green, like little shape, is the defender. And basically, you have the disc and there's going to be a defender on you, and you can't move with the disc. But then the logical question that comes up is, what do you do when you don't have the disc? Can you move? Are you allowed to move? The answer is yes, you are allowed to move. And basically there are 2 positions that we're going to go over later, called a cutter and a defender. And those people can move around as much as they want or as little as they want, depending on the situation. So next off, we're going to talk about the field. According to USAUltimate.com, the field is 70 yards of playing field, 40 yards wide, with 20-yard end zones, and you can see a general diagram of that pictured on the screen. And basically the way the scoring goes, if you catch the disc while you're in the end zone, you get a point, and anywhere else is considered, that's not in the blue area, is considered out of bounds, and it will be a turnover if you don't get the disc. So next we're going to go over the different plays associated with ultimate. To start, we have the 2 most common, the horizontal stack and the vertical stack. They are pictured here, and I'm just going to go over the basics. Don't want to go into too much detail, because if we do, you're going to get confused, let's be honest. But basically, you have the 3 people in the back. These are considered the handlers, as I mentioned earlier. These are the people that are more likely to throw the disc and usually throw it to the people that are then pictured in blue. And it's called a horizontal stack because, as you can see, they're positioned horizontally on the field. And it's just an example of a play. Another example of a play is a vertical stack, where you have, instead of 4 people that are moving around a ton, you have 2 people. And like I said, these are just examples of plays. So when you see a game of ultimate, you usually just think people are moving around randomly. At least that's what happened to me when I first started playing. I didn't realize that a simple game with a little disc and a couple people throwing it could actually have this much structure, as to where there's a play and you have like certain ways you have to move on the field. And for me, that was really interesting. It was really cool, and that's one of the reasons why the sport is so fun. Moving on to that, another reason why I love the sport of ultimate is because this whole concept called the spirit of the game that is embedded in every type of game you play, any tournament you go to. Everyone who plays ultimate frisbee and who's on a team is going to know what this means. Spirit of the game, according to what what website is that? Some random website. So bad. Spirit of the game is at the heart of Ultimate and is a defining characteristic of the sport. With no referees, Ultimate relies on the spirit of the game, placing the bonus of sportsmanship and honorable play on the players of themselves. So, what that means is there are no referees in Ultimate Frisbee. Everyone who is on the field is making the calls, and I think that's really unique. That's really cool because in almost every sport you'll ever play, there's a referee. And whenever there's referees, you always get in fights with the referees. You're saying, oh, the referee's biased against one team. They're making a call one way or the other. When you're in Ultimate, it's the players on the field that are making the calls. So if there's something that happens, the two people that are involved talk it out, understand what went on, why it went on, if there was a collision or someone got shoved. You talk it out, and the situation gets resolved. So there is no bias. If anything goes wrong, it's because of the people talking it out. And usually, because everyone loves the idea of spirit of the game and that it's self-officiated, everyone is very understanding of the different calls. And that's why sportsmanship is a really big thing that's a concept in Ultimate Frisbee. Everyone just wants to have a fair, fun time, and if sportsmanship is followed, a lot of rules and games can be played. And then for me personally, it allows for a diversity in age. I've played in leagues where I was on the team with 50-year-olds, and I was like 18 at the time. And because of spirit of the game, if there is a 50-year-old, you're not going to put an 18-year-old on the 50-year-old, just dominating him, outrunning him when you're playing the games. If you're playing with spirit of the game, you're going to put another like 50-year-old guarding the 50-year-old. So everyone's evenly matched up. You're not going to try to take advantages of mismatches. And I just think that's really cool, and that's just a really fun aspect of the sport of Ultimate. And one final thing I want to talk about is like the AUDL, and it just shows how culturally relevant, or it's trying to be culturally relevant, Ultimate Frisbee is, or Ultimate, sport of Ultimate is. Crap, I said Ultimate Frisbee. It's called the American Ultimate Disc League. It's a popular professional Ultimate League, and because they're trying to get out there, I think they have mainstream appeal. They have teams in cities all over America. They are streaming on different websites. They're not officially on TV yet, but they're drawing in a decent crowd. They get like people to come to their games, and I think it's really cool that Ultimate is becoming a sport that people go to watch for fun. So finally, the one last thing I want to emphasize is, if you are like the guy on the left or the guy or like the group of people on the right, just go out and play. You don't have to be amazing. You don't have to understand everything I said in this presentation. But just if you just go out and play Ultimate, it's just, hopefully you'll learn to love it. I've enjoyed it ever since I started playing in my junior year of high school. And who knows? Maybe you could join a team later on. Oh, I forgot to say in conclusion. Frick. Whatever, it's fine. End it.
What?